Oh my god. Seriously, I am a grown man. I am still reeling from the ending of this movie. Holy shit. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is the concluding chapter in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, and in this one, Hiccup and Toothless want to try and get away from Berk after a threat threatens the lives of everybody in Berk. Hiccup knows of this world called the Hidden World his father told him about when he was little, and so he feels as if everybody from Berk should try and go find the Hidden World while a dragon trapper named Grimmel is trying to capture Toothless because he is the last Night Fury. If you haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon or How to Train Your Dragon 2, seriously, what the fucking hell is wrong with you? I thought that those movies were two of the best animated movies I have ever seen. I doubted them. The moment they came out, it took me a while to watch them. And then I watched them, and I was like, those were really good. And I prefer the second How to Train Your Dragon over the first one. Nothing against the first one, by any means. The first one's still great on its own, but I just love the second one. I love the story more in the second one. We haven't had too many great trilogies in our lifetime. I mean, we've had trilogies that were set up to be great, like the Spider-Man trilogy or the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Pirates of the Caribbean has obviously gone on to become a series, so it's no longer a trilogy. But I mean, the greatest trilogies I can think of are really the Dark Knight trilogy, the Toy Story trilogy, which is going to get ruined, the original Star Wars trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Man with No Name trilogy. Every other trilogy is just, it's not that great. Usually the first two in a trilogy are great, and the second one is usually better than the first one. And then the third one just completely falls apart with sequelitis and trilogy-itis and all the other itises. How to Train Your Dragon, I swear to you, holy, this is up there with one of the best trilogies of all time. I walked out of this movie so satisfied. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this movie. If I was going to like it more than the second one and the first one. I, honestly, despite one flaw I have with the movie, I think that this is the best How to Train Your Dragon film. So that means the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy gets better and better with each installment. It goes 3, 2, 1. That is unheard of for a trilogy. Unless if you have the Dark Knight, because I like the Dark Knight Rises the best out of that trilogy. So, kind of balanced out there. But Jesus, man, I love the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless. This is one of the best relationships ever put on screen. These two have such great chemistry. You can definitely buy the fact that they're friends, that they're best friends, that they have all this camaraderie. It's just so fulfilling and so satisfying, and I just love the idea of the loyalty they have. That's what makes this friendship so enriching. And you could even say that it's not even a friendship, it's family. I love all the other characters in here, too. I mean, Astrid and Hiccup, they have great chemistry together. The friends, like Fishleg, Tough Nut, Rough Nut, all of them shine in this movie. They are hilarious. By far the funniest How to Train Your Dragon movie, and I give the movie credit for that, too. It is full of a lot of humor. Animation is just top-notch. It is vibrant. It is in your face with how good this animation is. I haven't seen animation like this where I've seen the hair on characters flowing in the wind like I have since I played video games. I still play video games. Now it's just before my eyes on screen. I'm like, this is so damn realistic. Oh my god. No wonder why this movie took 5 years to make. They had to get every animation pattern down to a T, and they did it. And it's much more lively with all of the colors in this movie. It is a very colorful movie, especially when you get to the Hidden World. That was one of my favorite sequences, one of my favorite visual sequences of the year. You have a story here that is so emotional. The ending of this movie, as I said, I literally sat in the theater crying. And not just shedding man tears, like flat out bawling my eyes out. And I was so afraid to leave the theater because I didn't want people to see a grown man crying. Like, Jesus! That is how much impact that these characters, this story, this world that these movies created have on the audience members. It is just so thoroughly engrossing, enthralling, enriching. It really impacts the audience when stuff happens at the end of this movie. You're just like, man, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, that's so sad! Seriously though, it is an emotional gut punch, and you're just like, oh no. It is really an emotional gut punch. And the thing that in the trailer that had me worried the most was this new white dragon, the Light Fury, that looked like Toothless was trying to woo. That was the part in the trailer for me where I was like, this movie could completely fall apart on its legs. Like, its legs could be broken. That ended up being one of the best parts of the movie. It was cute, it was funny, and they didn't overdo it. Wow, I am just still in awe as to how great this movie was. All three of these are just, they're so great, and this is a third in a trilogy. There's never, barely ever a great third one that tops the original two. I give this movie props for that. God damn, it has there's so much depth in this movie. There's so much levity to these characters. There's a lot to latch onto. You don't want to see anything happen to any of these characters. These are characters we have grown with for the past decade. Holy shit, the first one came out in 2010. It's 2019. This trilogy for the past decade has let us grow with these characters. That's what makes the ending so much more emotional. That's what makes it feel like a punch to the gut. Because you grow up with Toothless, you grow up with Hiccup, you grow up with Astrid, you grow up with all of these characters, no matter how old you are. I grew up with Harry Potter, I grew up with Smallville, I still love watching those. I also just feel like watching these movies, it takes me back to a time when I was a little kid, and I feel like, even though I saw the first two late, the progression of these movies just took me back to being a little kid, and when I watched them back to back to back, like I did to prepare for this review and this movie, I grew up with these characters. The third one really brought it home for me. There is one aspect of the third one that I don't think was awful, and that is the villain Grimmel. He's definitely a better villain than Drago. There's just not much to it. He's just a dragon slayer. That's really it, but honestly, like, I had heard that he was kind of on the weaker side for villains, but compared to Drago in the second one, who shows up an hour into the movie, he's way better, even if he doesn't have that much to him. Drago had something to him, but he didn't have the screen presence or enough screen time like Grimmel did. Grimmel is by far the weakest aspect of this movie, but I am not gonna let that take away how beautiful and emotional, funny, and just colorful this movie is. I am going to give How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World an A. This right now could be the movie to top for 2019. It's still early, I have to see what else is coming out this year, but if this ends up as number one on my top 10 list at the end of the year, I will not be surprised. Thank you for watching my review of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Seriously, go see it. If you do not see this, you are discriminating against dragons. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below. There you'll find all my links to my social media accounts. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.